Today is July 30th. It's the trade deadline, and the Yankees are the best team in the whole world. Welcome to Talkin' Yanks, where we're going to talk Yanks.
Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, theme, and hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talking Yanks. Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake. Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks. Thank you very much for joining us today. My name is Jake. His name is Jimmy. BBD producing in the corner. The episode is brought to you by SeatGeek, where you can use code YANKS15 for 15% off any tickets on SeatGeek, whether you're a new customer or not. They've got color code to help you out if it's good or bad. They've got numbers to help you out if it's good or bad. If it's good value, bad value. So go to the SeatGeek app, use code YANKS15 for 15% off. Jake, we talked to Boone. The Yankees have won 3 in a row. Jazz Chisholm is a stud third baseman. He's homered twice now. Vibes are high.
Vibes are high. Yanks, go SeatGeek. Go see Jazz Chisholm's first game at the stadium. Realize we haven't had that yet. And maybe someone else.
Bring your trumpet.
Bring some jazz instruments to the stadium. Definitely won't let those in, right?
No.
I think that's a big no-no.
What about the Mets? Didn't they let a bunch of trumpets in with Tommy Trumpets?
Yeah, but Mets probably be trading us Alonso. Need more bench. It's an exciting day. And that the Yankees aren't 3-game win streak.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of runs, and the offense continues to go. Rice got hot. We'll do the series recap tomorrow, and we'll do a little trade deadline recap today. If you're listening to this on the day, July 30th, we're also going to be live on Talking Baseball during the deadline. So there's just a lot of content coming out. Hopefully the Yanks make more moves. They have to. And we get to talk about those. And then you get to add them to your daily fantasy team and win. I heard that you guys have been sucking it up.
Oh.
That's what the office said.
At least an arm, right? Like minimum an arm.
No, they have to get relievers. Even if they get relievers that aren't studs, they need arms with the Birdies and the F. Ross and the Brubaker setbacks.
Another hitter would be great. And just, you need another high leverage arm. So yeah, interested to see where it lands. And yeah, come watch it. If you're hearing this right now, check out Talking Baseball. We'll be live. And yeah, let's get into banter and Boone.
DraftKings.
Well, yeah. Before we do that, I was going to tell him about the DFS league that you mentioned, Jim. Because yeah, this isn't even a full thing, but it's every week we're doing it. Daily fantasy. If you haven't done it yet, it's a lot of fun. I actually think tonight might be a nice week to get in there because you're going to have players getting subbed out and some did. So you might be able to find some value from some bench pieces. I shouldn't be giving away too much strategy, but we are giving away $100 from SeatGeek credit every month from John Boy Media, and top leaderboard finisher gets 2 World Series tickets. So get in the action. It's not too late to sign up for tonight's contest. Click the link in the description to join the league and then enter the contest on the league homepage. Boone.
Welcome back to another Bantering with Boone, brought to you by Beatbox. Boone's in full gear today, just in case there's any impromptu press conferences. Is that right? Yeah. Which we will start off with. I said that you owe us a piece of breaking news.
I know.
You don't have any?
I don't. I'm sorry.
All right, just the latest rumor then.
Yeah, what's the latest text you've gotten about the deadline?
Show us your phone.
That it's 6 hours away.
Come on.
That's the latest. Honestly, I haven't got much of anything. I know the guys in Tampa are, Cash and them are just exploring every possible avenue, creative way of doing different things. And again, we'll either match up or you don't in the end, and we'll see. So I'm sure a lot of teams are going through the same thing, but I really don't have anything for you. We're in Philly. We're getting ready for the Phillies, and I got my phone with me in case anything happens or anything's imminent, but other than that, getting ready for the fightings.
Can you just say the names Yandy and Pete Fairbanks quick? Because you said Cash in Tampa, so we can get our social clip out of that. So just
dice that up.
No, that would be Brian Cashman, and our front office is all together in Tampa.
Okay.
Sorry.
Tampa.
Well, we have Jazz, we have Gleyber, we have a lot of stuff to talk about. A crazy series in Fenway. Before we get into that, I'm going to make it nice and easy. You don't have to say any words. I'm just going to list some names, and then we're going to stare at your facial reactions. Okay? Are you ready?
Yes.
Garrett Crochet. Wow. Okay. Jack Flaherty. Blake Snell. Yandy Diaz. Tanner Scott.
You know what? If I would text you right now, I would text you this emoji.
Yeah. Shrug. Okay.
But
And
no.
Cash, does Cash text you in emojis and gifts?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, it's a big gift guy.
Yeah.
Pete Fairbanks. Crazy eyes. Okay, so if we dissect that, we'll send that to a facial recognition like
Pete Fairbanks, excellent interviews.
Yeah.
Excellent post-game interviews.
Do you have that? I sent Beebs a soundbite recently of his best interview. It's a good one. It's all right.
Like that.
Jazz Chisholm joins the team. Oh, you got it?
Mm-hmm.
Generally sucked. I didn't think it was a specific suck. I thought it was like an all-encompassing type of suck.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's good. Jazz Chisholm joins the team. How did that trade come to be from your point of view? When were you involved, and how did it happen?
Jazz has been on our radar a little bit, probably the last, to some degree for weeks. It was, is there a fit there? And so, I'd heard his name probably a few weeks prior. And then, right before it happened, probably the 24 hours before it happened, I knew that there was a potential deal in place to do. And then it was just about everyone saying, yeah, this is the way we should go. This is what we want to do. And, try to do as much due diligence as we could. And, but it really came together probably that last 24 hours after being kind of talked about, on the outskirts a little bit for several weeks, but really excited to have him. He's been a lot of fun here these first 2 days, just starting to get to know him. And I just, we're 2 days in, but I like a lot of things he's brought to our club. And we're a better club, with him on the team. No question. Our roster got better when he joined us.
Just a little confused when you said he's been on your radar past couple weeks, because the past couple weeks we've been like, hey, Boone, who's on your radar? And then you say that. But I don't know. I'm a little hurt.
Why would I answer that, though? I can't. Come on. There's a lot of people that get mentioned.
We're all
You could have just started making noise, like music.
Most 90% of things, names that get brought up or concepts that don't end up happening. So I was just telling you the completion of it, like when I first heard about possibly something.
Some breadcrumbs. Maybe you show up and Ella Fitzgerald's playing in the background just for the next time.
Okay.
Or maybe some
Next
signs
time
of
we
our
trade for
own.
Jazz.
Maybe we'll start coming
go.
up with signs. Okay.
He plays third base. Hoke asked you and said, how long is it going to take? And Hoke, I think in his phrasing, said it because that's not a one-day thing. And then it was. And he's there. Gets tested a lot. Did he just say yes? Does he take one round of infield and the coaches are like, good to go?
A little bit. Look, not just the, perfect situation of plug this, like, there's some moving parts, and that was part of the deliberation about bringing him in is like, okay, making it fit. That's one thing that's been really cool about him, and just seeing him, the confidence he has in his game. And like when I first talked to him about third base, he's like, yeah, I just want to win. I'll be fine. Like, and you watch him, you see his athleticism, he has the arm strength, the athleticism, the action. So, felt good about that. And then it's just about going out and doing it in the game, which look, there's going to be probably some growing pains with it at some point that we got to be willing to live with. But I think he gave you a little peek into what it could look like last night. I don't expect it necessarily be that smooth, but there were 3 really good plays he made over there last night, and almost pulled off that last one, which would have been.
I think you get credit for
He might
saving the
have
double.
going for an SB on if he pulled that one off, but he's got a lot of confidence, and he's got the skill set and the athleticism to do it. I know that. So it's just a matter of, of now gaining the experience over there.
As a third baseman, did you have a clock or any? We were actually talking about this on our road trip because I've heard Trevor Plouffe and other players say, ball bounces 4 times before it gets to you, can't turn 2, or if it's this way or that. Do you have any of those when you played third?
No question. I mean, and that's experience. That's just experience of anything, but baseball, whether you're a shortstop, a center fielder, or that timing and rhythm that just becomes ingrained in you. That's the part that, will probably be a work in progress.
Is there a play?
He's played most of his life on that side of the diamond, so that will help him a lot.
Well, he fielded the ball yesterday, going to his left, threw it to Gleyber. That was nice. He gets some hot shots, which are all reaction, and clearly he's got the skill there. But you've played third. If you had to make a checklist, we saw A-Rod come over, switch positions, and all of a sudden the pop-up was a big problem with him early on. Is there a play as fans that we can look at where you say, now that one, that's a toughie? And then he makes it and we're excited, like bare hand running in?
Yeah, probably more when I see them. Like,
okay.
Sometimes the basic one that, I'll turn, and frankly, anywhere in the infield, just haven't played infield all my life. Like, I'll turn to someone on our bench, I'll be like, sneaky, really good play right there. Like that kind of looked real basic, and that if you screw it up, it's like, oh, what happened? But it's like, that was a really tough play. So I didn't like pop-ups ever. I always struggled with pop-ups. But that's more of an individual thing. So we'll see. First test was really good. But we'll continue to see and continue to work with them and try and move the needle with them as best we can. But I'm confident that he'll more than hold his own over there.
Do you get more involved because it's third base? Like, I know you swung by Eagles camp today, and like, if Nick Saban or someone has a defensive back, he's a famed defensive back coach. You played third base. Like, do you plan on getting a little more involved because that's kind of the spot
Possibly. Like, I feel that kind of stuff out. The last thing I want to do is overload somebody, or, the biggest thing with Jazz right now is I want to keep the game simple for them as best we can. It's a whirlwind when you get traded from an organization into a new environment. Like right now, you're in that transition phase. I want to keep things, and you're doing a new position. I want to make it as simple as possible for them. So we'll talk. I'm sure there'll be little things that, I impart along the way, but I also don't want to micromanage the situation either, and trust that, Chappie will help them and move them along. And again, he's such a good player and athlete that he's going to handle it.
Gleyber didn't seem too thrilled when they asked him about potentially moving positions. Some of the fan base didn't love his quotes there. What were your combos with Gleyber, and what's your reaction to hearing him say that he wasn't
I heard that, and I thought I thought it was a little out of context. I don't know if that's the right way of putting it. Like, I think when continually asked, like, oh, I play second, I'm a second baseman. But he's also said, I'll do what the team needs. And like my going into it, I envisioned Jazz going to third. I feel like it would be the easier move than taking Gleyber over there. But the thing I've imparted on Gleyber is I want at least you to get over there and get some work in there, just so, 2 weeks from now, a month from now, like, hey, what is the best way to go here? And so I want him to get at least some reps over there in some practice situations. But I really didn't necessarily want to move him to third, move Jazz back into the dirt at second, and then, because I'm not sure what that'll look like either. I do feel like Jazz has the skill set to handle it over there on the left side.
Gleyber comes out. He doesn't turn the double play. Schwarber with a tough slide on that one that makes the error later on in the game. He's got a league-leading 14th error, and sometimes with Gleyber, from my perspective, I could be totally wrong. Call me out. He seems to carry a lot of his emotions into his game. You know, we heard the trade rumors 2 years ago, and then he had, in the midst of a great season, a terrible August right after that. A lot of people said that was connected. We have no idea. How do you, if that's the situation, like how do we keep him in a good headspace? Like how do we combat these kind of, his errors always seem very heady or not opposite of heady. Not physical.
Yeah, I mean, I think the last couple, you know, a little bit of that funk of like easy plays here, don't make a mistake. And that's what we don't want to get into, because the reality is he turned a couple really good that first double play last night, they turned on Turner from Jazz's end, fielding it, the short arm, quick, boom, Gleyber's turn there. He had another turn when Talkin came in the game, we got the ground ball from Real Muto. Good turn there. I think he got a little caught up with, like you said, the runner on the second one. Made a really good play on the slow roller going to first base where he kind of shoveled. So he's making a lot of really good plays. And actually, we've seen this year him increase his range a little bit because his pre-pitch has been better. He's making more plays, but he's also making some mistakes on some routine plays that we've got to, as best we can, try and clean up. And I think sometimes when they happen, you know, where you make a couple easy ones, you know, just like we talk about hitting a lot of times in defense, you get a little bit of funk too. And so we got to make sure as best we can as teammates, as coaches, as manager, of having them in the best headspace, you know, especially now when he's starting to swing the bat really well too over the last several weeks. But we got to keep working with him to get not only where he's move the needle on some of the difficult plays that he's made more this year than he ever has, but obviously doing a better job on the routine plays.
I don't want to use the word regret because it's a little strong, but I guess with hindsight being 2020 and even like our current situation, do you guys wish you got Gleyber just a little more run at third base, like, or just a little more versatility throughout? I mean, again, regret's strong, but even in the current situation we were in, if that wasn't a topic now, that'd be a pretty nice thing to have.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, we just, you know, with him going to short the 1 year after, you know, when Didi went down, and I think it was a struggle for him, and then he went back to second and kind of got settled, and you felt, and he was doing really great things there offensively. It just didn't feel like, with what he's put up, like moving him to third was a really good option on his overall play. So that was kind of the calculus there.
Okay.
With Gleyber, he has been hitting like crazy, even better than career numbers since he got the rest, since he got benched, whatever phrase you want to use, whenever he didn't play for a couple of days. Since then, he come out on fire. How much credit do you give towards either the mental and physical like reset of those times, or to the accountability of, hey man, like we can't have you got to snap out of this?
Yeah. I mean, there's probably a little to both of those things, but I also think in the end, you're seeing a 27, 28-year-old guy that's been a really good hitter in his life. Like, it's starting to, you know, even out, and like, you know, you start to play to your bubblegum card a little bit, you know, like, so, you know, I think it's a good hitter really starting to get going, and not saying that, you know, those couple days might've served him and us well, but no way to know for sure.
Is Jazz full green light on the bases? Like, do you need to tell him anything, or is it just, hey, if the big guys are up, that's when you got a yellow? Like, how's that work?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, you know, he's pretty much green, but, you know, I always kind of weave in yellow and reds in there from time to time for the way you're putting it.
Okay.
The offense has been really clicking. I mean, in the last 20 days, you've got 5 hitters with a batting average over 300. You've got 7 hitters with an OPS over league average. 2 of those guys, Trent Grisham and Oswaldo Cabrera, with everyday run, you know, seem to find their spots and their moments and settle in. Do they now take a hit with these moves, or what role will they play moving forward with Stanton and
Yeah,
Jimmy's
I mean,
back.
yeah, I think they take. I mean, from a playing time because they were playing a ton. So yeah, that naturally that'll probably impact their playing time a little bit. But it's certainly nice having those guys on our team because inevitably you're going to have these things come up, and to have Trent step in and play the game, play the way he was playing and doing some impactful things. Oswaldo, as always, just that really good utility guy that has swung the bat here well of recently, especially from the left side. But yeah, it impacts them probably to some of the playing time because they were pretty much playing most days. Grish is back in there tonight with Stanton out of the lineup tonight. So, he'll get some run here and there.
Ben Rice was on fire, looked good. And then the numbers really, really dropped. But I didn't think the level of at bat, like it visually didn't look like the numbers did.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
That sounds like someone's post games I hear a lot.
But I think we're all looking at that too. Like
there's other players I wouldn't say that about, but him, it truly looked like he was still in there at bat. I was almost shocked.
And not that he was hot or anything. Let's not,
the results weren't too much.
There, yeah. But when I would go into a city or we'd have a national group in and ask like, "Oh, Rice," I'm like, no. He's having good at bats. He's got, what's he have? 7 homers. I bet he's hit 5 balls to the wall in the deepest part of some parks too. Like, so he's continuing to back the ball. I feel like he's, even when he, punches or, doesn't smoke a ball for a game, like feels like that competitive at bat is constantly happening. So, yeah, he's held his own really well, and I feel like very much held his own at first base too.
DJ would be the opposite, where he struggled, and the numbers kind of match what visually it looks like. I think his average launch angle is -3 or something, and last night is 1 at bat, which is always tough to just have 1 at bat in a game. It was a ground ball in that dirt patch in front of the plate. So he's going to now get less, we talk about how these guys get everyday at bats and the results come. His task is almost harder now, even though he's still going to get run, but mostly just starting against lefties. Will that be the route with him?
Yeah, we'll see. Again, this stuff always changes and evolves, and hopefully with this, you're able to do some different things behind the scenes, or keeps you fresh, and maybe you find something that clicks for you, and boom, all of a sudden you have a game or an at bat that kind of gets you moving in the right direction and gets you going, unlock some things, frees your mind up a little bit. So, we'll see. I'm not going to predict anything. I'm just going to, hopefully, the work will put him in a position to impact us every time he's ready to roll.
Been a lot of rumors about you guys talking with the Rays, the front office, about trades with the Rays. At any point, has Gerrit Cole walked into your office and said, "Go get me Rortvedt.
I want Ben back."
I want Ben back.
No.
What?
Okay.
No. Although I mean, we love Ben, of course, but no.
Okay.
Gerrit is really likes obviously Trevi, but has been really impressed and respects Austin a lot too.
Wait,
it's nice to have that offense with you as well.
What's the name of that Rays first baseman the past couple years?
The who?
Rays first baseman the past couple years?
It's good.
We're not. No, you know we don't clip like that. That's not our game.
Man Choi.
Ooh, what's he up to? God, that year he tormented Cole. That stunk. It was almost to the point we were happy for G-Man because it was like, what? That was nuts. What a sport.
Okay, I've walked into another question. I don't know if we're out of time. Clay Holmes and Luke Weaver. Their numbers with runners on are drastically different. Weaver, because he's a strikeout fly ball guy, can escape those jams and keep runners at bay more, and he has. Because Clay Holmes is a ground ball guy, runners advance on grounders more often. Is there any thought, if it continues, or if a new reliever comes, to changing Clay to fit the inning more, Or is he the closer? I can tell by your face right there. He's the
I
closer.
mean, he's the closer.
Okay.
Look, we'll see where the roster is as we move forward, but reality is Clay's punching out a lot more than the narrative is.
He is.
He's punching more than one an inning, I think, and probably in line with what Weave's doing. So the bottom line is both are really good, and we'll see where the dust settles here and over the next 24 hours and see where we're at.
You want to compliment Jake Cousins quick? He seems good.
Yeah, he's been nice. That slider's real.
Slider looks real, too. It's a fun pitch.
Yeah, he's done a really nice job for us.
So is Heel's new slider. That's why I've never seen a pitcher create a pitch in the middle of the season and it become that, Usually you're testing one out for a while, you scrap it every now and then, bring it in.
Yeah, although Gerrit last year, I felt like the cutter became a really big pitch for him in the second half of the season.
It did, but he had it at the beginning. He was working on it in spring training, and then kind of that. Like this was a pitch he didn't have 2 weeks before he started throwing it.
Yeah, it's remarkable.
I would say Rodon
continue to grow, and his professionalism has been fun to witness.
Rodon's changeup, I would say, is a similar ilk of that. Actually looked like a plus pitch. And usually it takes guys a long time to get
some of the pitches, some of the changeups he's thrown, this season and especially lately, you see that, from our angle, from the dugout, from the side, the depth on it has been impressive.
Yeah. Well, Jim, you got anything else?
No.
I mean, we've got
Austin Wells has been amazing, and I just feel like
Austin Wells has been amazing.
Do you want to say 30 seconds on how amazing he's been?
Yeah, it's been fun. He's becoming that hitter I think a lot of people envisioned him becoming. It's high level at bats every night, regardless of result. It controls the zone well, doesn't strike out a ton. You're seeing the power start to happen. You're seeing him get comfortable with his experience now at this level. It's been big.
Boone, we're excited. Like we talked about scheduling with this, we kind of want to get you either after the deadline or with something. Weird Philly game tomorrow, 12:30. But we'll be able to talk to you Monday, August 5th, 5:30 p.m. We're letting people in. T-Squared Social, there's still tickets available. Our last live event was fun. That first guy came at you a little bit, but after that, everything was good. And, man, I'm glad things are trending the right way. We were scared. We were like, are we going to have to get extra security for the event for a little while? But I think we're
long way to go. We got a chance to be really good, and that's what we're working towards.
Did you get any text during this episode?
Anything you want to check your phone on real quick? Okay. Okay.
Wow.
Hey, trivia to get you out of here. Trivia to get you out of here, Boone, presented by Beatbox, a perfect pairing for a Yanks game. Do yourself a favor, hit the link in the description, find the Beatbox near you. You were traded once, coming up on the anniversary, July 31st, 03. What were the 3 things you were traded for?
Well, do you know who you were traded for?
Clausen?
Brandon Clausen, yep.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you the other 2.
Things was the trick there. One was cash consideration, so a little price on you. And Charlie Manning.
Yes, Charlie Manning. I did.
Charles Nelson Manning.
Charlie Manning. How about that?
Yep.
Drafted 5 times.
Whoa. Wow.
Hey, good luck today, man. Like potential hugs and stuff and just general excitement. Like you're kind of in it with us for a couple hours. That's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Voit and then Girardi echoed it. They said trade deadline sucks. Do you agree?
Yeah. Now that it's here, like yesterday and today, there's a unsettling feeling about it, and I wanted to let's go. Yeah. Let's go. I mean, you want certain things to potentially, but it's I want time to get on with it. This is our team. Let's roll.
All right. Well, we'll see that team tonight or tomorrow.
All right, man. See you guys.
And that was Aaron Boone, who said that Gleyber's just playing to the back of his bubblegum card.
Oh.
Big League Chew, a sponsor of this episode, a producer of bubblegum. The We Got Ice guys,
Yeah.
they're partnered with Big League Chew big time. They're sending one lucky winner to the Little League World Series. All you have to do, if you want to do that, if your son wants to do that, if your cousin, whoever, you go to johnboymedia.com/BLC.
Big
Stands
League
for
Chew.
Big League Chew, yeah. Purchase any Big League Chew pack of gum, and you'll be automatically entered for a chance to win the grand prize, featuring a trip to Williamsport for Little League World Series, a Big League Chew prize pack, and some signed We Got Ice merch. So if you know any young kids in your life that like baseball, they are Jack Doyle stands.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. Every pack purchase is an entry. So the more Big League Chew you purchase, the more entries you have. Head to johnboymedia.com/BLC to enter today. So luckily the Yanks won 3 in a row. So the spirits of the Boone chat were higher than before. I did want to ask about Gleyber and his mood.
Yeah.
Did want to ask about Clay Holmes and DJ. But all those questions are kind of getting answered. Like DJ didn't start any of the games.
Yeah.
He's going to start against lefties. That's not that much run. He's not being set up for success here. I don't know what it looks like. You know, is DJ a bench piece as what? You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm really confused the plan with him.
I guess I'm a little confused by your line of question because what do you think it should be?
I think they have to Phantom IL him. I don't know if they believe in like an off season to get healthy, and next year they still think there's value and they don't want to DFA him. If you wait for expanded rosters and then he's just a guy on the bench.
So you don't think where should he be right now? If DJ is healthy enough to be on the team, he should be on the bench, right?
Yes, but if they get more guys,
right,
and he's not providing anything from the bench come playoff season or a pennant race in September.
Yeah.
So if like Dominguez gets called up, if they trade for a bat, DJ's currently the next guy off.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're going to DFA him.
Right.
I don't know the other options.
That's it.
They can do a Phantom IL, or they
Can't
can
do that anymore.
Why?
Your guy Billy got in trouble for that.
Oh, they still do it though. Or you can wait till they expand. And he gets August as we played the whole season with Jeremiah Jones, who was not really a bench piece. He got 0 run. So, but there's nothing DJ offers right now, unless they really think his first defense at first base over Rice is what he's there for.
Yeah, I mean at this point, it's platoon lefty sub Rice out late. I think that's it.
Yeah, I was hoping they would trade for like an Ahmed Rosario for like another bat or something. And if they do, DJ's the odd man out. So I don't know what happens there.
Yeah, if they do, it gets interesting. But, yeah, I mean, you listed the only 2 options.
Yeah. Well, I think they'd do some IL shit.
Yeah, that's option 2.
Yeah. So it could be by the end of today they have to make that decision. I'm interested in that because he just looks really bad. Boone's facial reactions to the players. Not much. There's a lot of fake facial reactions.
Not much. Similar reactions to each one.
Yeah. And Jazz is good. They have been hitting.
Yeah.
Like crazy, which is cool. Speaking of hitting, our sharp stat today, which is brought to you by Big League Chew, is...
Hey guys, Queen of Stats here, and let's spend this Sharp Stats segment talking about Austin Wells. Now I know that you briefly mentioned him in the Red Sox recap episode on Sunday night, I think, but you're still not talking enough about him.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's a few different ways that you can butter knife it, his season. So we'll do one that's a little bit more recent and one that, sort of has a bigger sample size, a little bit longer. First, the recent hot streak that he's on. This is entering Monday's game. Since June 6th, he's hitting .300 with a .411 OBP and a .567 slugging percentage. That's good for a .977 OPS in about 113 plate appearances. Now, out of the 226 players with at least 110 plate appearances in that span, that's the 17th best OPS. So he's basically in the top 5% of all players in OPS in that span. But what's more interesting to me is the longer stretch of good production that he's had for the past 3 months, 3+ months, actually. So on April 23rd, he basically hit rock bottom. He was 3 for 35. That's a .086 batting average, and all 3 hits were singles. Yikes. But if you looked at the underlying numbers at that time, they were much, much better. He had more walks than strikeouts, and his expected WOBA, so that's WOBA based on weighted on base average, based on the quality of contact, exit velocity, launch angle. His expected WOBA was 377, which is more than 60 points higher than league average. In fact, at that time, the difference between his actual WOBA, which was 193, and his expected WOBA was by far the highest among all players. Since April 24th, though, he's now hitting 275, 364 OBP, and a 488 slugging, which is good for an 851 OPS. And he's basically been just the second best hitting catcher, or overall catcher in baseball. So if you look at the 33 catchers with at least 150 plate appearances in that span, his OPS is second best behind Wilson Contreras, and he also has the second most Fangraphs WAR among catchers in that span. So what's changed? Maybe besides a little bit more luck? Well, one of the keys, I think, for him has been pulling the ball. So before April 24th, only 24% of his batted balls were pulled. Since April 24th, 41% of his batted balls have been pulled. Now, why is that important? Well, you don't want to be too pull happy, but batters typically get much better results when they pull the ball. And in that span, since April 24th, when Austin Wells pulls the ball, he has a 396 batting average and a 792 slugging percentage. Talk to you guys next week.
Well, how about that? The queen of stats.
What'd you like, Jim?
I like the last nugget because early on, every piece of good contact was just caught. Like it was in between the right fielder and the center fielder. We talked about it like all the time. Like, get out of that area, man. There's 2 fielders there.
I think we were on this.
Yeah, I think that's what we kept saying.
I think it was either like you need to go full oppo slap, or we were like pull the ball, dog. And it looks like he went with the second. No.
Yeah, I want to look at the difference in his spray charts. Just to really I like the visual.
Sure.
From April 24th. And I knew April 24th was when he got his first extra base hit. And that's a big number that's going around right now. Because it's a long stretch. And it's very cool. His at-bats, some of his at-bats yesterday, just very locked in. All the lefties had great at-bats versus Wheeler.
I mean, it was something that just felt poetic, and Boone's probably thanking his lucky stars we didn't bring it up today, but with Volpe 9, Wells has been great. Ben Rice slid down the lineup instead of leadoff Ben Rice, which we're going to have more ammo to, don't make a kid bat leadoff conversation. I mean, the lineup feels pretty yum right now. Pretty yum.
Kind of interesting. So this was the first 3 weeks spray chart. I'll make it bigger so you can see. He's got 1 blue pit, a couple of outs deep to right that would have been homers at the stadium. But it's all oppo. His spray chart since isn't jarringly different. Obviously, there's way more pull homers. He's still going oppo, at least putting the ball in play a ton. It's almost like there's more to achieve here.
Yeah.
Just get that Brian McCann pull swing.
Those home runs down the line.
Yeah.
A little pile there.
Way down the line. Yeah, that's kind of cool, huh? And this one would have been a home run if it was at the stadium. It was down the line, too. The Baltimore home run. Yep. That was the one that got him a brick. That was right by the pole. And this one was in Tampa. Another pole scraper. Your old nickname. And then the stadium. So they weren't even all at the stadium.
Yeah.
Inside off-speed pitches. That was a little kind of a porch. And then this one didn't get out. Oh, it was at the stadium. It says it should have gotten out. Wasn't even close, so that's numbers for you.
That's numbers for you. I saw some of the Yankees kids online getting hot that Wells has been better than Rushman. All right, easy.
Yeah, but can he dress like Adley?
We like that. Yes. Austin Wells can do what he wants.
I don't know if the mustache and the pearls go together.
I'm excited to see the next steps for Austin Wells because, like I hit on last episode, he's become one of the Yankees' more valuable assets in the organization. And, yeah, I mean, I was just last night just kind of in Yankee euphoria thinking about a cleanup lefty hitting catcher. And we moved pretty quick past just how ridiculous his look is. Like, it's a full mustache.
That's good.
Do-rag some days.
Well, that's not. Cop Energy is good. I like that do-rag that
Chain
him and
energy.
Stroh do it together. Yesterday, as I was watching the game, I wanted to have someone go grab up clips from our episode. I think the episode was titled "Where Are All the Lefties," where we pulled our hair out yesterday, and we were just
Passin'.
Ooh,
I heard
Jeff
it's called Pass.
Passan. The New York Yankees and Chicago Cubs are in agreement on a trade that will send right-handed reliever Mark Leiter Jr. to the Yankees and infielder Ben Cowles and right-hander Jack Neely to the Cubs. So one reliever done.
who?
Mark Leiter Jr. is the body in.
Al's nephew.
Yeah, has he been good this year? I know he had a tough year 1 or 2 years ago.
He was solid. He's been solid the past couple years. This year he's been around average, but he does strike people out a ton. So,
Nice.
breaking
Oh, on a little bit of a heater here in July.
like that.
7 games, 7.2 innings pitched, 14 Ks, 0 hits. So, okay. Ended June with a tough stretch.
And if you're good at family math, he's the cousin of Jack Leiter. So maybe the Yankees are just
Put a
brewing
good word in
something.
for 7 years from now.
Yeah,
That is like one of the subsections of math that I'm good at.
right. Family math.
Yeah.
I'm not.
No.
You start doing the second, third cousin stuff.
I studied it once. What's he bringing to the table? Let me look at his pitch mix.
From Toms River, New Jersey.
Yeah.
So we get to build on that.
So we had a big gap from June 16th to July 9th, where he was hurt, I'm guessing. Beebs, can you see what he was hurt with? He's got a split finger, a curveball, and a sinker. That is not the traditional makeup of a strikeout reliever. But that's cool.
I think he had a right forearm strain. He went on the injured list June 23rd. That matched the day you just said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jim, this might
June
be fun
19th.
for you. Looks like that curveball's coming in at 73.
Oh, my goodness.
Um,
What? None of this screams strikeouts.
And the split finger's got some good run value. Whoo! Opponents hitting 053 off the splitty this year.
I like that.
So,
Dude, it's crazy how quick Fangraphs is with their roster resource update.
yeah.
Okay, so how many options does he have? He's around for the next 2 years. So they got him for this year, and then he's around for the next 2, which is something they're going to need to do because they lose Clay and they lose Canely. So they need to make moves for relievers that they have. Now, that's not going to – they would have to develop into a high impact guy if they do, but
Yeah, I mean, hey, we need arms out there. Mark Leiter's an arm for them. I think he's been kind of like an 8th inning guy for the Cubbies. He's got the strikeout numbers, so there's some potential there.
he's got no options. So
I
he's
would-
here for the next 2 years.
I would love if this is the arm before the arm, like the leverage arm.
I would hope if this is like the move, it's fine, but it's not a deadline move.
Right.
This is almost the next year and
It's
the year
the-
after that move. And if he helps this year, great.
I think they're hoping he helps this year.
He will because the bullpen's depleted, but he's not going to be pitching.
We're not day one
inning in
throwing him
the
in an
eighth
eighth
inning in
inning.
the ALDS. I don't know.
I don't know.
33 years old.
Let's take a look at this curveball of his. You said it's 70 miles per hour?
73.5 on average.
Here, this one is 73.6. Swinging strike. He got Salvi Perez with it. What a crazy. He looks. Oh, what the fuck? Okay. I don't know. This is bizarre. This looks like a made-up video game, this whole situation.
Okay.
Because Salvy's
What do you
so
got
big,
here?
he looks tiny.
Salvy's big. Leiter looks tiny there. Listed 6 foot 210. He's 5'10".
In this video, he's 5'10".
Yeah.
And he throws this curveball. He must have had him set up pretty well. Because that is...
Where that landed.
It's crazy off the plate. Salvy's a free swinger, but...
Hey, the strikeout numbers are pretty wild. 53 and 36.1 innings. 13.1 K for 9. That's like that's like Chapman area.
Yeah.
2019 Chapman was 13.4.
All right. Well, there you go. That's the first move. More to come. Goodbye and farewell. Go Yanks. Tell them, Grams.
Go Yankees.